outside and be your sunshine.
Yes, Peter. So you guys, as you can see, it is snowing, and my lashes have snow on it. So I am about to go grab something to eat or whatever. Whew. It's about 8 minutes away, so I'm gonna put it on my GPS right now, and then I'll be right back. So beautiful. Like, it literally feels like Christmas. Look at this. I don't want to vlog and drive in all this crazy weather right now, so I'm gonna be back, you guys. I'm gonna drive safe. I just want to drive safe and make my destination. But this, oh my gosh, you guys know I live in hotness, so seeing snow right now is exciting to me, even though I used to live in New York. So I got my breakfast, you guys. Got my coffee. Nice view. Yeah, what am I gonna say? Right? Oh, shit. I don't know about you guys, but I hate putting gas in the car. Like, I'm the laziest when it comes to putting gas in my car. Okay, so get back on the road. Let me see if I can prop you guys up. You guys might not really stay. Okay, I'm gonna have to come back. Okay, so hey you guys, hopefully you can hear me. I know this angle is not as great, but I'm at the airport right now or whatever. The gate is right up there, but the flight leaves at like 2:30, so we're not boarding until like 2. So it's super empty right now. I'm still currently in Detroit, and I'm actually leaving for a few days just to go visit my kids and go grab a few things and go handle a few business things I need to handle. But I figured I'll do like a Q&A at the airport because I have been receiving like a few questions, really good questions at that. So I figured let me just do a video real quick while I'm here. I'm flying back to Detroit on Sunday because I work Monday. And then I'll also do a video on how the trip has been going along so far or whatever. So let me look at the screenshots of the questions and we're gonna get right into it. And then what I'll do is I'll also like add a picture of the person that's asking the question somewhere in the video, so you guys can also see as well. And even though I responded to like a few of them, I figured let me just do a video to actually explain it, so that way you guys can better understand versus reading something is better off when you talk it out, pretty much. Okay, so they're done talking. So the first question that she wanted to know was, as far as being a travel CNA, do you get the option of taking a stipend? Like, how does that work? So basically, like in your contract, every contract will have a stipend unless it's a local contract. Now, if it's a local contract, obviously, let me keep my mask on. Obviously, you live nearby, so you don't need the stipend. And stipend is basically the housing allowance that the agency that you applied for is basically giving you on a weekly basis to basically find housing, whether it's an Airbnb or a hotel or, I mean, wherever. I honestly been hearing like a lot of stories as far as people even keeping their stipend money, because technically it's your money. Like, they're gonna give it to you. Most likely they'll do like a reimbursement, meaning that you will have to find the housing prior to leaving to the contract, and then they'll just reimburse you back that full amount that you were promised initially on your contract. So a lot of times, and this money is not taxed. So basically, you're keeping that money. It's not taxed. So if they tell you they're giving you $500, they're giving you $500 on your check. So they're not going to tax it. So a lot of people, they take advantage so that way they're able to pocket more money, because at the end of the day, like you're doing an assignment, the more money you pocket is more beneficial to you. Like, you get more money. So if you do know, like, if you have like family or friends that live at the state where you're going, you can live with your friend or your family for free and pocket all that money. Now, it's different if you don't know. It's different if you don't know anybody at that state. Then obviously you would need somewhere to stay. So you will basically just research hotels. I honestly wouldn't recommend like an Airbnb, and I did a video about this as well. Like, I briefly talked about it. I won't recommend an Airbnb because you are going to be spending the majority of your money on housing, and that's not what you want at all. So that's the answer, like, to the question. It's basically on you, as far as if you know someone that lives in a state where you could save more money, or if you really do need a hotel and you really do need to use the stipend money to provide your housing. So if you know somebody, it's better. Or honestly, you can also roommate with somebody. If you trust somebody, like as far as like your friend or whatever, you can do roommate. Now, a lot of times the roommate situation does not work or whatever, so you gotta keep that in mind. Just because you're saving money, your roommate might be real shitty. Like, you never know. So that's the answer to that question. Let me look at another. Okay, so the other question that I'm going to answer is, it's from XO _ Anna She. I think I'm saying the name right. And she wanted to know, I want to start traveling soon, but I was wondering, how do you make your contract worthwhile? like still taking home a good amount of money after coming out the pocket for a car rental or Airbnb? Is there agencies that will pay for those expenses? Okay. This is basically like a 3-part question, and let me answer the first part. Okay, the first part is basically, how do you make your contract worthwhile? I mean, yeah, how do you make your contract basically worth it? So I would say, honestly, you could make money off your contract by Skyping. Like, those are one of the parts where you can make a whole lot of money, because the Skyping is non-tax. You're Skyping and you're per diem. Your per diem meaning like your amount of money that you're given to eat and basically survive. Like, you need to eat. So a lot of agencies, they'll give you a per diem, and that per diem is basically what you would use to like buy food. And the Skyping, of course, is your housing, because basically your housing will be non-tax, meaning if they tell you that they're gonna give you an amount of like $600, and let's say you're going to a certain location and you're looking for the more affordable hotels, and I will honestly say, like, while you're looking for hotels and things like that, look at like different apps like Orbiz or Expedia or Last Minute Travel or Tickets at Work. And Tickets at Work is basically from your other employee. Let's say, like, if you work at a job at your home location, a lot of the companies have Tickets at Work where you can get a discount on the hotel. So that's another thing. Another way you can make it worthwhile is if your overtime is extremely high. Now, a lot of times, and it's a whole list of agencies, like, I need to like sit down to talk about the agencies, because this has been very frequently asked, and that has to be like a long video, because it's so many agencies everywhere. But a lot of times, what was I saying? So a lot of times, like, in the state that you're gonna go to, basically research. You don't have to stay at a 5-star hotel, but I'm not telling you to stay at the most regular place, because coming from a person that's like OCD about like hotels, like, I don't play about hotels. Like, it has to be at least 4 stars. I know I'm a little bougie, but you don't want to be living for the next couple of weeks at a 1-star hotel. Now, it's up to you. Like, you choose where you want to stay, but I will honestly say compare the hotels. Compare. Because you can make a good amount. Oh, that's what I was talking about. You can make a good amount of money.
Safety is our priority. Just a few reminders. We're expecting a full flight, and we might start checking bags.
Okay, so the next question is, as far as the car rental and the Uber. I honestly think that an Uber is more money, and I feel as if for Uber, you're not as convenient. It's not convenient as you would want to be. Versus, like, if you were to rent a car and you could get up and go. I honestly think that a rental car is cheaper to get than an Uber. Because you got to keep in mind that you're going for work, and 9 times out of 10 you don't know the location, and sometimes you might not want to stay at the hotel like the whole entire time. You might want to be like a tourist and drive around and go other places by yourself at that. And I'm more of a person. Shit. Hold on. So I'm more of a person that likes to go places, and I don't mind going places like by myself. Like I feel as if I don't want to stay at the hotel the entire time that you're at the trip. The only thing about the car rental is that a lot of times the car rental will, one, check your credit. Not all car rentals, but someone check your credit. And then two, they'll ask you for a deposit. And that's like 9 times out of 10, they're gonna ask you for a deposit, but you're getting your money back. So basically a lot of times the deposit's like $150 or $200, but you'll end up getting that money back as long as that car comes back in one piece. And another thing about the rental car is that as far as like insurance, if you take their insurance, and I'm not gonna lie, like when I took insurance before, so a lot of times the insurance, that shit adds up. Like I'm not gonna lie. And for me, like with this trip, what I did was I didn't take insurance on the car. I was just praying to God that I didn't fuck it up. And I'll just bring the car in one piece. Now, if
Passenger
you're
last
paranoid,
name Aline. If you're in the boarding area, please raise your hand. Aline.
now if you're paranoid and you've never been there and it's snow and all types of stuff,
Passenger
and you're worried
Green,
about,
last name Green. If you are in the boarding area, raise your hand.
so if you're paranoid about driving in the snow or the horrible weather, I would say get insurance. Now, if you get insurance, it will be more money. So you have to honestly see what works out better for you, because you could be at a hotel and the facility that you're going to could literally be next door, so you don't need the car rental. You could pretty much just walk there. So, and that's another option too. If your hotel is closer to the facility where you're gonna be, and 8 times out of 10 you're not gonna be traveling or going out frequently, then Uber. And Uber is definitely the cheapest because your hotel is right next to the facility where you're gonna be. And if you're gonna do a lot of overtime and this and that, and you might have one day off, then it's worth you Ubering. So honestly, it's basically up to you. Like, what is your purpose? What is the purpose of going up there? Are you gonna be doing a lot of overtime? Are you nearby the facility where you're gonna be as far as your hotel? Is there agencies that pay for those expenses? Yes. The one agency that I know of that pays for your rental car is Prime Time. The only thing about Prime Time, honestly, I don't want to talk negative about Prime Time because I'm currently employed with them, but Prime Time, the pay is not all that great at all. But they'll help you as far as like the hotel. They'll pre-book the hotel for you, and they'll pay for your rental car. And they also have like a budget of how much they're able to pay for your rental car too. So keep that in mind. Okay, so another question from Richard. Thank you, Richard, for your nice compliments. What are the best and worst places?
Passenger last name Kelly, sing at the podium. Kelly, are you in the area?
So it's not really necessarily like a best and worst place to travel. Me, from experience, I think I wouldn't say worst place. It was more boring, was Nebraska because, oh my gosh, the city where I was at, there was literally nothing to do. Like across the street is like Walmart, and there's a lot of restaurants, but there's no like it wasn't no museums or like little things to do nearby, like parks and things like that. And I like stuff like that. I like outdoor stuff. So honestly, Nebraska is boring as crap. Boring. But other locations that I went to, it wasn't horrible because of the fact that it was a lot to do nearby. So yeah, you definitely have to like research the state that you're going to and the city. And prior to traveling, I would just say, just Google before you go and just write down like a little list before you go, so that way you're not just confined to just work. Because I've been hearing stories about people putting in hours, like literally 80 hours. You want to make money, but you want to also enjoy the travel experience. Like you want to take pictures. I don't know if you're a picture person, but I am. You want to like explore like the city and things like that. So you don't want to be confined into just work and go straight to the hotel. If you're a person that's like to yourself and antisocial and don't really like going places, then that's up to you. Let's see. Have you ever took a contract? I was in a foreign state, Nebraska. And the only positive thing that I liked about Nebraska was the fact that there was a lot of restaurants nearby. Other than that, Nebraska was boring. Because I live in Miami, so it's a lot of things to do in Miami. So going to a state that doesn't have nothing, yeah. The last question was from Kinda. And I'll insert like the picture right here. She said, how much did you get paid per hour or weekly or trip? Telling us we could bank does not tell us anything. Okay. I did respond.
At this time, passengers that need extra time.
Okay, so I'm about to board in a minute, but I did respond to this question. And like I said before in another video, what I might get paid might not necessarily be how much you get paid. One, I'm a negotiator. Like
global service passengers are welcome aboard. Passengers.
So yeah, I'm gonna make this
first
real
class
quick
can board at any time
because I have to board. One, I'm a negotiator, and a lot of times with the agency that you're with, you might be able to negotiate, you might not. The recruiter will tell you. If the recruiter does not tell you,
can I have passengers in rows 20 through 24 board at this time? 20 through 24 will be boarded by rows, not group.
So, and then you have some agencies that are able to take money out of your stipend, so that way your hourly can be a little bit more. Yes, some agencies do that, and like I said, there are over 50 agencies out there, like literally. But I will do a video on agencies itself because it has been highly asked, and I do want to help everybody out, and to pretty much get this back. But some agencies, they'll take money out your stipend, so that way your hourly rate is a little bit higher. But you have to keep in mind that even if they take money out of your stipend and your hourly is higher, your hourly is taxed. So you might be better off getting paid a little bit less and get more with your stipend. You could bank
passengers in rows 15 through 24 welcome aboard. 15 through 24.
So I'm about to board in a minute, but you could bank off your stipend. Now, if your stipend is high and your pay is, let's say, about $30, like 31, 32, and then your overtime is like a time and a half. You are able to make money, but it depends on you. Are you doing
If you're boarding
overtime?
pass says C agent, please make your way to gate D4 to get your seat assignment. And again, if your boarding pass says C agent for seats, please make your way to gate D4 to get your seat assignment.
Okay, so I'm hurry up and record this video because I'm about to board in a second. But like I said before, it all depends on your hourly pay. It all depends on what is tax, what is non-tax, because some hourly rates with different agencies, some are taxed and a portion is not taxed. So that's a question that you would have to like talk to like your accounting or somebody like in the finance department. But I mean, I do have my degree in accounting, so I do know a lot about numbers and things like that. That's why I'm actually kind of good at like number wise. But you have to look at what's tax, what's non-tax, how much is your stipend, are you doing overtime? All of that plays a big factor into how much you're going home with. Do you have any dependents? Do you not have dependents? Like, it all depends on you. Everybody has a different situation, so it pretty much depends on you and what your contract entails of. One thing that I think I do want to assist people as far as looking over, I don't know. I don't want to speak on it right now, but there is something that I'm working on, like in the works, that I've been thinking about helping others out with. So I honestly really don't want to talk about it until I have everything set in stone, and I will definitely let you guys know. So I don't want this video to be too long. I think it's going over 15 minutes because I'm about to go back home and basically come back to Michigan.
Passengers in rows
in a few
10
days.
through 24. Welcome aboard 10 through 24.
That is me. So, gotta go, you guys. I'm about to board. Thanks for watching. And please, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave it down below. I'll do another Q&A question. Just leave the questions down below.
We're boarding all routes and all rolls for United Flight
Bye. Take care.
3519.
Later.
All these sacrifices, damn, I made it look easy. Doing shows on the road, know you need me. Shout out to my lifetime, and I'm not talking about TV.
For the grind, for the time that you pick your whole life just to see the bright lights with the shine. Comes the shade, and with the love comes the hate. I guess